I'm Sonia and you're watching The Secret Bliss. So with us today is Anna Hunt. Anna is a London-based shaman. She's also the author of the Shaman In Stilettos, which is an incredible true story based on her journey from being a celebrity interviewer for one of the highest selling newspapers in the UK to finding herself in the Amazonian rainforest, where for months she drank one of the most potent hallucinogens known to man while apprenticing for a Peruvian shaman. So an incredible journey, Anna. Part one of this, we've decided to talk about Anna's journey and how she went from one world to another world and came back to form this beautiful bridge. And in the second part of this, we'll talk about her work as a shaman, what a shaman is, and the whole mystery behind the shamanic practices. So,
hopefully not too mysterious.
Yes, exactly. We want to lessen the mystery. So Anna, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
I would love, and I know that our viewers would love, to get a little bit of background where you were this from the outside, this great journalist, celebrity interviewer, pictures rosy, Cambridge graduate, everything's looking gorgeous, but obviously not. What was the catalyst that made you move in the direction of the Amazonian rainforest?
Yeah, it's quite an extreme
jump.
Well, I think in a nutshell I burnt out. And I think that is, I'm sure for a lot of your viewers, and certainly for a lot of the people that I work with, I think we can have many layers to our lives. And I think particularly in a city like London, you can have a very fulfilling profession that financially stimulating, you get to meet interesting people, and this is a hugely interesting city to live in. There are so many opportunities, cultural, social, etc. But I think very often stress, which we in our culture ignore, can catch up with you. And certainly the life I was living was playing hard and working extremely hard too. Manifested in what I later learned was chronic IBS, but at the time was misdiagnosed by my doctor. And we tried lots of different things, none of which worked. So it was really my doctor who said you need to take time out. And initially, when I planned to take a 3-month sabbatical and thought that was quite a wimpish option to take, so I was slightly kind of kicking and screaming, that I was in a lot of pain. I presumed it would be 3 months and then I'd slot straight back in. My boss kept my job open for me. So I certainly wasn't thinking, and I think this is true of so many of us, that I was going to be taking a huge life change. I thought it was just a step, and I think many people see it as the same.
Just to sort of heal yourself and get your energy back, really.
Yeah, just have a holiday. Take some time out, maybe see a different part of the world. Peru, when I decided to take my sabbatical, wasn't on my radar. I was thinking I'd go to India to visit one of my friends. So it was very much a series of serendipitous
events that led you there.
Very much.
That's amazing. And would you, it's very interesting to me because a lot of healers come into your profession, a lot of healers actually are sort of know their whole lives they want to be a healer, and a lot don't really know. So how was that for you? Would you have called yourself, a healer, a spiritual person before?
Those two words, and I think vocabulary around this stuff is hugely important. Absolutely not. I was somebody who had a very deep yoga practice. While I was a journalist, and I was somebody who certainly didn't view life as a table is a table is a table. So my point of view wasn't a kind of Nietzsche-esque world view, life view, whatever you want to call it. But I was firmly plugged into Western living. I'd say compassion is a very important quality for me. To even as a fairly hard-nosed hack. That was important, and I think I did well as a celebrity interviewer because of that. Because I'm a sensitive person. But no, I certainly didn't see myself as a healer, and for a long time I wouldn't call myself a shaman, in fact, until my teacher started kicking my butt and saying, come on. Because I think there's an awful lot of misperception around healing and what healing is, and also around spirituality. And I think people very often perceive if you're spiritual, therefore you can't be interested in the world of matter, and that is a big mistake.
Huge mistake. Okay, so we're now in the Amazonian beauty. And how did you come to meet this shaman that you ended up spending 10 years working with? You're still working with him?
I'm still training with him.
Okay.
So I visit Peru once a year to see him. So my teacher's actually based in the high Andes, outside Cusco, and I met him slightly under duress from the friend that I was travelling with, who went on and on about the fact that a shaman could help me with these tummy issues. And to begin with, I was very resolute, absolutely not. I don't see how somebody, I didn't really know what a shaman was, but like a medicine man, hugely. And also like, how the hell can a medicine man help burnout, which is a 21st century problem, which I think many of us suffer from, to varying levels, varying degrees. Anyway, she made an appointment for me to see him without my knowing, and in the end I was just like, okay, fine, I'll meet you. And one of the first things he said to me was, I've been waiting for you. And I was like, oh yeah, right. But then slowly.
Goosebumps,
Yeah, but at that point I was like intrigued, but also kind of like, you're a good looking man. You say you're a charmer, you know, blah blah. But slowly I had some very powerful experiences with him. He had some very powerful insights. And I think we had a lot of lines of connection. So my degree was in history. He's an archaeologist by profession. And the fact that he is a man who is supremely intelligent and very rational meant that we had our bridges. And as I say, common areas of interest, which I think sowed a friendship and trust from my part in him, which then meant I would kind of, I'd follow him down the path and embrace some experiences, which I think if it had been somebody who I didn't have those connections with, I would have probably been like, no, actually this isn't for me.
Did he help you?
Very much so.
So he healed what you had and what the doctors here couldn't?
Well, I think that's a very interesting point, and I'm very careful when I'm working with clients to make this distinction. I don't think anybody can heal us other than us. We heal
ourselves, exactly.
But I think that what my teacher did for me and what I aim to do for my clients is to provide a space and to teach tools and deliver experiences which provide somebody with the opportunity to take a step towards healing, or not if they so choose. That's what he did for me.
That is so beautiful, ultimately we are our own healers, we just need to be empowered somehow.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm getting the picture, the story. When did you drink? When did you first go, yes, okay, I'll drink this powerful hallucinogen that, because you don't sound like the type of person who dabbled in any sort of thing. So when did you say, yeah, okay, I'll go for that?
Well, my first experience with a plant, and the thing to say about plants is that in the Peruvian tradition, plants are, shamanism is about nature and our connection to nature. I used the word mystery earlier, in a very deep, mysterious way, as well as quite a tangible, prosaic way. Using plants is one of a huge variety of tools in a shaman's toolkit, but it's a very important part of the traditions in Peru. My first experience was with a cactus called San Pedro in Machu Picchu at night, which was a very beautiful experience and also a very painful experience, because having felt pretty good before drinking it, all of a sudden I was kind of besieged with these terrible cramps. So I was like, I thought this was supposed to be a healing, you call it a medicine, and this has just made me horrendously ill. And my teacher did some kind of hocus pocus on my tummy.
Did you know that was going to happen, or was it scary?
It was scary.
Okay.
And I was angry with myself for drinking it.
Right.
Because I was having an amazing time. And I was in a group of people, and it had been explained to us, this is a medicine. It'll enhance your connection with this beautiful place at night. We were there on our own. Kind of at twilight. So there weren't other tourists. And I wasn't expecting that at all. If I'd been told, particularly with my Western viewpoint, if something's going to make you ill, that equals bad. Now in the shamanic tradition, if something helps you release whatever emotion you're holding in different parts of your body, that process of release might not feel comfortable, but the end point is going to be very good because you're letting go. I think in our culture we have a big fear around
pain.
Any physical pain, but also emotional pain,
Yeah.
which of course is why a lot of
Yeah.
us burn out, and it creates a very vicious cycle, because
Yes.
what you dump doesn't just disappear.
Yes.
If everything's energy,
Just
including
gets stored.
thoughts and feelings,
Yeah.
they're stored as electrical
Yeah.
energy in the body.
Yeah.
So, no, I didn't know, first of all. And B, what was very interesting
Yeah.
was that my natural inclination was to go to my teacher. He was with a group of maybe 10 people, to go and find him and say, I'm in pain, you need to help me.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
He made me lie down on this grassy ledge in
Yeah.
Machu Picchu, and he did this strange stuff with my tummy. 5 minutes later, no problem. So for me,
Yeah.
that confounded experience,
Yeah.
it didn't confound experience, it confounded reason,
Mm.
like, what's he just done?
Yes. How did that go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it was a fantastic key
Yeah.
inviting me to open
Trust.
a door
Mm.
into a room to see who this man was and what this stuff was about. Because
Yes.
I'd never experienced anything like that. I've met, as a journalist, I've
Yes.
met all numbers
Sorts.
of kind of very straight corporate type people and some really crazy people as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
fantastic.
Yes.
But I've never met anybody as crazy as that.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow,
Wow.
it kind of left me speechless. From that,
Yeah.
I think one of the plants that you mentioned at the beginning, ayahuasca,
Yeah.
from that experience with San Pedro, I sometime later worked with ayahuasca, and what ayahuasca enabled me to do, and what San Pedro has enabled me to do for myself and with clients subsequently, is a really deep therapeutic process for myself to explore why I had this chronic tummy problem, what the emotion was, my kind of patterns. I think we all have patterns, and very often in a city we drive ourselves very hard
Yes.
to live up to ideals,
Yeah.
which is a fantastic thing, but it's also important to have a holistic approach to all of us and not just drive ourselves from here. I need to have this amazing
Absolutely.
job, I need to have this salary, but also to think about the things that deeply fulfill us and try and hold both.
Yeah.
I don't believe in exclusion, but I
Yeah.
think inclusion is extremely important for
Yes.
health,
Absolutely.
well-being.
Yeah.
Gave me all those insights, and was a profoundly healing experience, and helped remedy this problem that I had in this part of my
It's
body.
amazing. It's so you've drunk the San Pedro, you've drunk the ayahuasca. I happen to have journeyed some of that, not as much as you, but I definitely know that it is, it does shift your perceptions of reality. And so after this experience, when was the moment that you thought, I don't know if I can go back?
Back to London.
Back to London.
Oh, well, I
back
had
to
to come back.
Well, back to my old life.
I had to come back.
Okay.
I had a job. I had financial.
Were they waiting for you?
Yes.
So 3 months down the line, they're waiting, and I come back and come and do your same job again.
But also, more importantly,
Yeah.
for me, I had a financial imperative. I'd saved up to go on
Yes,
sabbatical.
okay.
I needed to come back to
Yeah.
start earning. My career was important to me, but I think this is also very important because I think, and this is a big part of who I am.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely important to have bridges and not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Shamanism isn't about you achieve nirvana and spiritual perfection.
And leave the world behind.
Right,
Yeah.
through meditating every day
Yeah.
for 15 hours and, as you say,
Yeah.
through abandoning the world.
Yeah.
The point of shamanic techniques
Yeah.
is to enhance our enjoyment of this reality, which is
Absolutely.
the world of matter,
Which is
jobs,
our gift.
finance, friends, important stuff, kids, family, blah, blah, blah. So I think my own experience, although I didn't realise at the time it was very difficult,
Yeah.
was very important because where would I have gone if I'd stayed in Peru, ad infinitum? I don't
Yes.
think I'd be doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing and that I enjoy very much, which
Yes.
is being that bridge for people.
Yes, exactly.
So I had to come back.
Yeah.
I couldn't not. But also I think that those steps and that initially extremely difficult time of feeling slightly ripped in part, like I had a Peru bit,
Yeah.
and then I had a kind of London bit,
Yeah.
where my friends, my family, my career was. Learning that dance
Yes.
had to happen through my own experience. It had to be authentic.
Yes.
And yeah, so I needed to come back and go through that dislocation.
When you came back, did you feel hugely different?
Did I feel hugely different? I felt like I touched something I'd been searching for all my life, which was like the missing piece of the jigsaw.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I always had just innate within me. I don't believe in that kind of, life's a bitch and then you die. I don't believe that.
It's a good thing.
And I think in our culture, a lot of people are quite literal in life. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of like, yeah, this is what it is. What you see is what you get, and that's that.
And then you check out and finished. Yeah.
So it gave me the missing piece of the jigsaw, which I wouldn't say is a change. I'd say it was me becoming more me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was radically different. I think I was just
discovering the part of yourself that you knew was sort of there, but you hadn't actually uncovered yet. Yeah.
Or found answers to.
Yeah. And when did you decide, I want to do this work? I want to be a shaman?
Well, when I met my teacher, very early on, he wanted to teach me. And that was kind of a step too far for me, because I couldn't compute how the hell I could make that happen.
Yes.
And also it's one thing, having amazing experiences for yourself. It's a completely different thing starting to learn to work with other people. I decided that I wanted to learn more. I wouldn't say I wanted to become a shaman, but I decided I wanted to learn more with him, and the vehicle through which I could do that was to write a book.
Right.
When I started saving and talking to him about kind of the framework and how we'd set it all up and what kind of time period I needed to be there for, I wasn't envisioning the end product would be Anna Hunt, the Shaman In Stilettos.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have a book, and I thought, okay, I love writing, that's my profession, regardless of what happens, this kind of can augment my career, add another layer to it.
Yes.
It's kind of like a natural development
for
from
you.
that.
Yes.
So when did I think I was going to become, or when did I actually realise, okay, I want to work as a healer myself? I would say around 2008. So some considerable time later. Now at that point I was already working with clients in Peru.
Yes.
But that's a big difference to actually coming back and setting yourself up here.
Absolutely.
From not from the opposite of a running start. You're kind of like here, okay, how on earth am I going to try and do this?
Exactly.
Yeah, that I'd say that around that time is when
you actually just solidified what you were going to move forward with in your life.
Yeah.
It's really, it's such a beautiful journey, and part of me feels like it could have been anything that you took the leap into. But there are so many people stuck in their lives with a missing piece somehow, and finding the courage. For you, it was almost a series of synchronistic events that led you to eventually becoming this. Do you feel fulfilled? Was this it? Do you feel you feel fulfilled in your life as both a writer and doing this work?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean there aren't challenges. I think sometimes people can have this idea of, okay, fulfillment means everything's nice and static, it's all plotted out, and you don't have like the curveballs that are part of life. No. So there are challenges. As my business has grown a lot, particularly recently with quite a lot of press coverage, it's like any business, you're challenged, you're trying to kind of meet the new demands of a new level of clients, so on. But in terms of having discovered something that for me has been the key to, on a very personal level, emotional, mental, physical and spiritual health, and being able to be a bridge for people, to have those experiences, that for me is a phenomenal thing, and I feel very privileged to be doing what I do.
Yeah, I mean, helping, healing and working with each other, if that is your calling, is a gift. It's a gift that we get given. Wow, it's an amazing journey. Now, I have come to the end of talking with Anna about her beautiful journey, and the next part, in part 2, we're going to find out what is a shaman? What does a shaman do? So join us for that. Thank you. Thank you.